have a great night. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4.
You are watching a special Election Day edition of Live at 4. Happy Election Day, everybody. The country, as you know, is experiencing an election like never before, with record early voter turnout, a global pandemic, and the biggest calls for racial justice since the 1960s.
We also might not know who the presidential winner is tonight. We'll talk with a political expert about that later on in this hour.
Throughout the night, News 3 Now and CBS News will be bringing you complete coverage of local, state, and national elections. Our coverage this afternoon begins with 4 of the 8 reporters that you'll be hearing from throughout the night.
We'll bring you updates from clerks in Dane, Sauk, and Rock counties, as well as updates on important state legislative races. Let's start with Jamie Perez, who's outside of the voting place at Elver Park with an update on absentee ballot counting. Jamie?
Park, we're actually kind of in a unique situation, and I'm not just talking about the fact that we're in a pandemic. We are in a tent, and the Madison city clerk tells me that this is the only polling location in Madison that is set up like this, and it's obviously because they're trying to adapt to the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, this particular polling location represents about 4 wards, and the chief inspector here told me that as of 2 p.m., they've had a total of 1,296 ballots counted. Now, that includes absentee and in person. Now, much of their work today has been counting these absentee ballots. They started at about 7 o'clock this morning, and the chief inspector said that they will actually expect to be finished counting these absentee ballots by 8 o'clock tonight. They had a very busy first hour, picked up around noon, got a little bit slow as we went through the day, and now it's expected to pick back up again as people are getting off work. Now, throughout the day, they've had about 65 poll workers here. 40 people have registered to vote of all ages and abilities, and they said that they've only had a few people show up without masks. Everybody else has been really compliant with the COVID precautions here. Now, I will give you another update at this polling location coming up in the next hour, but right now we're going to head on over to Maddie O'Neill, who is live downtown with an update from Madison City Clerk.
Well, as Jamie has been talking about, absentee ballots are one of the biggest topics this election. The city of Madison here dealing with a record number of more than 120,000 absentee ballots returned so far. I'm joined with the Madison City Clerk, Mary Beth Witzel-Bale. I hear we have some new numbers on how far you guys are through processing all of those ballots.
Yes, as of 2 p.m., over 60% of absentees were processed and already fed into the tabulators to be counted. And we didn't even get the numbers back from every polling location, so that is a really low number. It's actually much higher than that.
And I know it depends on the polling place how many they're dealing with, anywhere from a few hundred to nearly 4,000. How are poll workers dealing with this?
They are just doing the absentee processing all day long, so just slow and steady. The goal is to count all absentees and to get an accurate tally. And so it's not a race. We're not racing with anyone, but we're just sticking to it and persevering all day long. And so there are election officials who will stand in line with the voters with a handful of absentees to check in at the poll book, and they keep doing that. So they're monitoring how long the lines are as they're processing the absentee ballots.
All right, thank you so much. And now we know there are a lot of new poll workers this year to help the absentee ballot processing go smoothly. We'll be here all day keeping track of that process.
Madeline O'Neill and Jamie Perez reporting live for us. Maddie, thank you. Election officials in Milwaukee say it's been smooth sailing all day. They say lines have not been that long and people have been able to get in and out of polling places quickly. By noon, election workers had counted around 30,000 absentee ballots. Officials expect to continue counting absentee ballots well into the early morning hours. Around 3,000 to 4,000 absentee ballots were hand-delivered today.
Rock County is one of several counties President Trump is trying to win tonight. Hillary Clinton won the county by more than 10 percentage points in 2016, but the president and Vice President Pence have made several trips to the county this campaign season. News 3's now Adam Duxter is live in Rock County with an update on voting there. Adam?
Well, we knew Rock County, specifically Janesville, had seen record numbers for early voting, with more than half of registered voters in Janesville casting their ballot before today. But what we maybe didn't expect was to see such short lines here in Janesville at both City Hall and here at Hedberg Public Library, just off of Main Street. Two very, very short lines, almost no lines in Janesville. But Janesville City Clerk says more than 20,000 absentee ballots have already been filled out and returned, and election officials are currently working to count all of those ballots right now. And there's plenty on the ballot here in Rock County outside the presidential election, with voters choosing 2 U.S. reps, 4 local reps, and approving or denying 4 different referendums, including one right here at the school district of Janesville. But one main thing to stress also, it has been completely conflict-free here at the polls in Janesville. Police were preparing for the worst, but say they've gotten the best in terms of having no conflicts at any of their polling locations.
Adam Duxter reporting live from Rock County. Adam, thank you. Sauk County was a much tighter race in 2016. Hillary Clinton narrowly won the county by just a few hundred votes. Sauk County is considered a bellwether county, and our Gabriella Becerra is live there with what experts are saying tonight. Gabby?
Mark and Susan, both parties are watching Sauk County very closely tonight. That's because for the past couple of years, this county has voted for the next president of the United States. So history says that it's likely whichever this county chooses could be a predictor of this election. And the polls here in Baraboo have been very busy today. The Baraboo clerk says they're seeing a great turnout. Since I got here this afternoon, there's been a decent line of people waiting to vote, but it's moving fairly quickly. The clerk says Baraboo also saw a large jump in early voting compared to past elections.
We've had record-breaking numbers for absentees, absentee returns, absentee requests. Wasn't really sure what the day would bring today, but you know, from about 7 o'clock to 8:30, we had a steady stream of people. We had people lined up outside the door, but it's been smooth.
Although it's been pretty busy here all day, the clerk says they've had more than enough poll workers sign up for today, and they even have a backup list. Now, if you still need to vote here in Baraboo, the clerk wants to remind you that you need to have a photo ID with you. The line is fairly long outside, but there's plenty of social distancing, and inside there's lots of sanitation and mask wearing as well.
Gabby, thank you. News 3 Now will be watching 60 election and referendums that are important to you. That, of course, includes the race for President of the United States, which is expected to be tight tonight in Wisconsin. We'll also be following elections to the Democrat-controlled U.S. House of Representatives. That includes Southeast Wisconsin Congressman Brian Stile, who will try to keep his control of Paul Ryan's former seat, and South Central Wisconsin Congressman Mark Pocan as well.
Tonight is not just about politics. 15 school districts in our area have referenda on the ballot today. That includes 2 Madison Metropolitan School District referendums. School officials hope to get approval from voters to spend millions of dollars improving the city's high schools, building a new elementary school, and consolidate Capitol High School into one building. They're also asking for money to improve and maintain programs for students and teachers. Janesville schools also have 2 referendums at stake tonight. The first one would make several improvements to schools, including a new boiler system. The other would help maintain class size and funding student programs.
President Trump says that he has a solid chance of winning the election tonight after his campaign blitz over the past week. Staff and volunteers cheered on the president today as he made a rare appearance at his campaign headquarters in Virginia. The president said his 23 rallies in the last week has taken a toll on his voice, but it's helped his chances, he thinks, heading into tonight.
You'll be here all night, and I think you're going to see some tremendous results.
The Trump campaign expects a surge of Republican support at the polls to give the president an edge. President Trump will watch the returns tonight at the White House with about 400 invited guests. The president has hinted at legal action and again criticized a Supreme Court ruling that allows Pennsylvania to count postmarked ballots received up to 3 days after the election.
The Biden campaign is spending Election Day making appearances in the key battleground states of Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan, Florida, and North Carolina. Biden stopped by his childhood home in Scranton, Pennsylvania. He thanks supporters in the battleground state for getting out the vote. Earlier, the former vice president visited the grave of his elder son, Beau, who had encouraged his dad to make another run for the White House.
Basically came to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Joe!
The stage is set at Biden headquarters, where he is expected to address supporters tonight, but this will be a socially distanced event. The campaign anticipates between 200 and 300 cars to fill the parking lot. The Biden campaign has outspent President Trump on the airwaves by more than $165 million. Today, as Camp says, they feel it's clear they are winning.
We'll also be watching several Senate seats tonight. Republicans are fighting to keep control of the U.S. Senate, and Democrats are trying to overcome the GOP's 53-47 majority to take full control of Congress. Nearly twice as many Republican senators are up for re-election this year, and more than one-third of them are in competitive races.
More than 100 million Americans cast their ballots early this election year. Despite that, lines are long at polls across the country at this hour. So far, the process has been peaceful, but there are isolated problems being reported at some polling locations. Homeland Security officials say so far there is no evidence to suggest foreign adversaries have compromised any U.S. voting systems.
We're not out of the woods yet, though. Today, in some sense, is halftime.
Still, people are on edge. Several cities have boarded up in anticipation of violence following the election's outcome. There are at least 5,800 National Guard troops on duty in 13 states for election support and in case there is civil unrest.
If you're planning to vote this evening, there are 3 things to know. Polls are open until 8 o'clock tonight, and if you are in line when the polls close, please stay in line. You are legally allowed to vote as long as you are in line by 8 o'clock. If you don't know where you're supposed to vote, go to myvote.wi.gov. Social distancing guidelines are in place at polling locations. Voters are not required to wear a mask. And as our election coverage gets more exciting tonight, Mark and I will be hosting 2 election panels to help provide you some important context.
Like years past, I'll be joined by Matt Rothschild and Brandon Schultz to provide insight on what both the Republican and Democratic parties will be thinking as the results come in.
And I'll be moderating a panel focused on the integrity of the vote with 4 guests tonight. We know that a lot of people have questions about how the vote will be counted. I'll be talking with these experts who can provide answers.
And our entire team at News 3 Now will be working to bring you live local coverage throughout election night. We'll be streaming local content non-stop on channel3000.com and our streaming app, Channel 3000 Plus. Head to channel3000.com/apps to find your connection to our coverage. Let's take a look outside on this beautiful election day.
Boy, the weather was a gift today. Yes, it really was.
Spectacular. Vote yes on the forecast. Dana's in the backyard without a jacket on.
I am, finally. It feels wonderful outside today. A little bit more like June rather than November. Here's a live look at Platteville, where we have a clear, sunny sky, and same goes for downtown Madison. Temperatures this afternoon just climbing through the 60s, getting close to 70 degrees for those afternoon highs. We're at 66 right now. Again, nice and sunny, but a light breeze from the south-southwest, so a really calm evening. If you do have to head out and stuck in a line at all voting this evening, you should be fine for those temperatures. Overall, our temperature trend over the last 24 hours has been quite a bit warmer. It's what we talked about yesterday and what we're going to continue to talk about for the week with our temperature trend. It just keeps getting warmer and stays nice and sunny. Mild weather expected through next Monday, and our next chance for rain will not develop until late Sunday night into the following week. And that could bring quite a bit of accumulation of rain showers that we're looking at. But we'll take a closer look at your full forecast in just a few minutes. On the roads right now, we aren't seeing any major delays along the belt line. That's always some good news. Most of southwest Wisconsin sitting in a pretty good spot currently, and we don't have any major delays on the interstate stretching between Dane County and even down into Rock County this evening. But again, we'll take a closer look at your full 10-day coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, we'll see you then. Thank you, Dana. It'll be another disappointing weekend for Badger football fans. The team announced today Saturday's game against Purdue would be canceled. At least 27 members of the team and support staff have COVID-19. The Badgers were forced to cancel last week's game against Nebraska for the same reasons. All football activities remain paused.
On the same day as the election, Wisconsin health officials say 247 more people are in the hospital with COVID-19. COVID-19. More than 5,300 new cases were announced this afternoon, and 44 people have lost their lives.
COVID-19 continues to surge around the globe. In the U.S., more than 575,000 cases were reported in the last week alone. Some of the political battleground states are also battlegrounds for the virus. Americans headed to the polls wearing face masks as coronavirus infections hit new records around the country. Cases are on the rise in more than 40 states. Wisconsin is facing one of the biggest surges in the country. Nearly a third of test results are now coming back positive. Pennsylvania recorded its biggest one-day increase on record, and Massachusetts is under a stay-at-home advisory in the hopes of curbing rising case numbers.
We're telling people to go home. We're not telling them to go to their friend's house or their neighbor's house or somebody else. We're telling them to go home.
In New York City, officials are asking the public not to give in to pandemic fatigue. The infection rate is still low, but the mayor sees cause for concern. Cases are on the rise. In Colorado, where the Denver Broncos announced both their team president and general manager John Elway have tested positive for COVID-19. We have more election coverage when Live at 4 continues.
When we come back, we'll also find out what to look for as results start coming in from Wisconsin and around the country. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
You're watching News 3 Now, Live at 4.
Before Voltaren Arthritis Pain Gel, my husband would have been on the sidelines. But not anymore.
An alternative to pills, Voltaren is the first full prescription strength non-steroidal anti-inflammatory gel to target pain directly at the source for powerful arthritis pain relief. Voltaren, the joy of movement.
I'm a mom, a grandma, and a business owner. Our family repaired 3 barns and a 100-year-old farmhouse for our small business. I was raised to believe in hard work and that a person's word is sacred. As your assemblywoman, I'll work hard for our small towns and family farms, to rebuild our schools and main streets, and be your fiscal watchdog to make sure our tax dollars come back to work for us here at home.
About $100 off a complete pair, frame and lenses. Wisconsin Vision. See more life.
Knoll Manor Retirement Living in Verona provides extraordinary supportive living with compassion and grace. We offer independent living, assisted living, and closer care living options. We understand that staying social is important to everyone's well-being. That's why Knoll Manor provides engaging activities and ways to stay active and connect with others. There's yoga, bingo, outdoor music, and so much more, all while keeping your health and safety in mind. Knoll Manor Living. Welcome home. Contact us today to set up your virtual tour.
Time is running out to participate in our home evaluation program. You may remember we started out looking for 50 homes. Thank you for your response. Then 30, now down to 20. Don't you miss out on these special savings on Eco Sky windows from Mad City Windows. Beautiful windows that will give your home an energy upgrade this winter. Whatever size you need. Bay, bow, double hung, slider, and wood grains on the inside. We've been in the #1 spot as the top-rated remodeler in Wisconsin for the last 8 years. And now you can be one of 20 homeowners to save a lot of money here at Mad City Windows. 75% off labor on new windows. 60 months, 0 interest, and we're going to compensate you for your time. $100 Walmart gift card with purchase, $50 Amazon gift card with your estimate. Be sure to ask about virtual estimates from Mad City Windows. Call 608-338-1616. That's 608-338-1616. MadCityWindows.com.
Welcome back, everyone. Everyone, people around the globe are watching our election closely as the winner will shape future relations with other countries.
People overseas feel they have a horse in this race since presidents can change the course of history. President Trump enjoys a sky-high approval rating in Israel, with supporters hoping he gets 4 more years. Despite the president's unflattering description of African nations, hundreds are marching in Nigeria to support him. And in Russia, many fear a Joe Biden presidency. This resident of Moscow says Biden is too aggressive in his policies towards Russia. In the UK, most believe Biden should be America's next president.
I think Biden will be the best for the UK economy to support us. I don't think Trump particularly cares about us all that much.
Iran's supreme leader says whoever wins the U.S. presidency won't change relations with his country. Stocks added big numbers after yesterday's big gains. The Dow Industrials up 554 points, closing at 27,480. The Nasdaq added 202, and the S&P 500 was up 58. Well, as we said earlier, today will be an election day unlike any other.
However, not knowing who won on election night is not a new thing. Here to talk about that and many more election-related issues tonight, political science professor from Beloit College, Philip Chen, is back with us tonight.
Welcome back.
Hi, Philip. Good to see you again.
Good to see you, too.
It's election day, so what will you be watching for tonight?
So I'm going to be watching for the states that do report their results quickly. These are states like Florida, North Carolina, Georgia can be fairly quick, and later in the night, Arizona. Those are the states that we expect to see most of their results by the end of tonight, and that should give us kind of a bellwether for today, at least, of where we might see this election going.
How important is Florida for each candidate?
Florida is pivotal for the Trump campaign. President Trump needs Florida in order to have, I think, a viable path to 270 electoral votes. It's truthfully it's not a necessary part of the Biden campaign strategy. You know, they would like to have Florida. It opens up a lot more options for them if they were to win it. But Florida, in fact, the entire Sun Belt, Florida, North Carolina, Georgia, Arizona, are not necessary to the Biden campaign if they can restore, that blue wall of Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin.
Once again, Wisconsin is going to be a pivotal state tonight.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Wisconsin will be a pivotal state, just like we saw in 2016 and in many elections before.
Things like Texas, even in play, sounds astonishing to me.
I think Texas is an interesting piece in that, one, it may not truthfully be in play. We really will have to see how the votes come in. But it's really a sign of shifting demographics and shifting coalitions, right? Texas has a lot of suburban areas, and those suburbs have been moving more towards the Democratic Party, along with a growing non-white population in Texas, that the Sun Belt, Texas, Arizona, Georgia, North Carolina, these states have become far more competitive for Democrats than we might have seen in 2016 or in other years. That doesn't mean that Joe Biden is going to win them this year, but it means that we should expect them to be a little bit more competitive this year. And if these trends hold, we may see them continue to be competitive into the future.
Clerks started counting absentee ballots this morning here in Wisconsin. Do you expect our state to be called by the end of the evening?
I don't. I expect us to know most of Wisconsin's results by sometime tomorrow. I think if you look at what, say, Milwaukee is saying, they are expecting to have most of their votes counted, or they're hoping to have most of their votes counted late, into the early morning hours on Wednesday, maybe 4 or 5 a.m., something like that. So I don't expect a call in Wisconsin. Of course, if the same day if the election day ballots come in and they are particularly favorable to Joe Biden, and the exit polls are pointing towards a Biden lead in absentee and mail-in and early voting, then we might see Wisconsin called. But I think the only way we see Wisconsin called is if the election has gone very much more towards Joe Biden than the polls indicate.
And not knowing who won on an election night is not a new thing.
No, absolutely not. You know, we tend to think like, oh well, we just count the ballots, but we have to remember that counting ballots takes a long time, especially when we have absentee ballots and early voting ballots and things like that, because those are counted in a different manner, and many states have different rules for how they count those. And so when a state is quote unquote called by one of the major networks or by the AP, we think, well, that means they counted all the ballots, but really it doesn't. And so it's actually very normal that the ballots would not be fully counted for several days or even several, a week or more. Alaska doesn't even start counting their absentee ballots until a week after Election Day. They won't even open them and start counting. So this is very, very normal to not have final vote counts for several days and up to several weeks.
It's going to be an interesting night, that's for sure.
It will indeed.
Thanks for being with us again.
Philip, great to see you. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Still to come at 4 in non-election news, the pandemic is changing the shopping habits of young people.
They're giving up clothes for video games as they stay at home. That's coming up after Dana's First Warn forecast.
Take a look at the Eco Sky window from Mad City Windows. It has a 0.17 U factor, the lowest in the industry. We're going to keep the cold out this winter. We're going to save you energy dollars. In fact, we have thousands of satisfied customers here at Mad City Windows. Let's listen to a few right now.
The quality of the window and the product is amazing.
You know, who can complain when you get what you pay for?
Call in now to be one of 20 homeowners to get these special savings. 75% off labor. Zip code and location are important. We'll put a good neighbor sign in the yard. You get 60 months zero interest financing. You're going to be compensated for your time. A $100 Walmart gift card with purchase. Be sure to ask about virtual online estimates, and you get a $50 Amazon gift card with your free in-home estimate from Mad City Windows. Call 608-338-1616. That's 608-338-1616. MadCityWindows.com.
The Medicare enrollment deadline is only weeks away, and there's so many unanswered questions. Like, do you know if your plan is still the right fit? Having the wrong Medicare plan can cost you thousands, and that's why I love Health Markets, your insurance marketplace. What if you didn't have to shop for health insurance again? Health Market's Fit Score Forever Promise is the answer. It continuously scans the market to compare your plan against any new options year after year, while helping answer all your Medicare questions, like does your plan have no copays, no deductibles, or $0 premiums? Health Markets has the answer. Does your plan offer dental and vision coverage? How about hearing aids, glasses, wellness visits, and even telemedicine at no additional cost? Health Markets has the answers. Find the answer from the #1 ranked health insurance agency in America.
Your insurance marketplace, Health Markets.
Call 800-964-0790. That's 800-964-0790. Call now.
Where can a healthier heart lead you? For people with heart failure taking Entresto, it may lead to a world of possibilities. Entresto helps people stay alive and out of the hospital. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. Don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor about Entresto.
Todd Novak's doing a great job. Just ask his opponent, Chris Marion. She sent Novak the nicest notes, like this email.
Todd, I have nothing but admiration for the job you're doing.
And when Marion was running for state senate, she even reached out to Todd saying,
I aspire to be the Todd Novak of the Senate.
Quite the endorsement, so take it from Chris Marion herself.
I have nothing but admiration. I aspire to be the Todd Novak of the Senate.
Todd Novak, an independent voice, our hardworking state representative.
Take a look at this. Spot the robot dog moves like a canine. It hears food and jumps up to check what's in the bowl. He even gives a few quizzical head tilts like an everyday pooch. But this isn't your everyday hound, and it's not into regular dog food. So the folks over at Monster Technologies tried batteries. Spot checked out for a bit, but eventually it's clear we have a winner. He likes the batteries.
Oh, tippy taps. Yay.
As I always say with these robots, fascinating and frightening.
At the same time.
A little strange. It moves a lot like Penny, I'll be honest.
Yeah, it's pretty realistic.
It really is. It's very cool. I like the technology side of it. I think it looks really neat.
The opposite of cool is the weather.
Yes, yes, it is so mild outside right now. Again, it feels like June, even though we're in early November, and this warm weather will stick around with us through the rest of the work week. Take a closer look at your full 10-day right after the break.
Do you have dry, cracked hands from constant washing, cold weather, and hard work? Try O'Keeffe's Working Hands. It's America's #1 selling hand cream for guaranteed relief for extremely dry, cracked hands. Also available in O'Keeffe's Lip Repair. Guaranteed relief for extremely dry, cracked lips.
Happy Hour just got hoppier at IHOP with a $5 menu featuring pancakes, burgers, and more yum-yums. So while you can't buy happiness, you can buy hoppiness. iHoppy Hour, every day from 2 to 10 p.m.
Attic Angel Community has earned a reputation as the one and only. But what's so memorable to the people who live here?
It's good local heart. Interesting friends.
The view from my window.
Continuing education.
The food.
The amazing art studio.
Happy Hour.
There are many reasons to love Attic Angel Community, but there's just one Attic Angel.
How often does Todd Novak vote with Republican Party leadership? 100% of the time. That's right. Now he votes 100% of the time with the Republican Party. Novak voted with his party leadership to protect polluters and let insurance companies cut coverage for people with pre-existing conditions. Novak said he would be an independent voice, then sided with corporate special interests 100% of the time. Todd Novak has changed. He's not working for us.
Give your home an energy upgrade with new windows from Mad City Windows. Eco Sky windows with sky mirror technology. Whatever size window you need, bay, bow, double hung, slider, and you're going to love the ease of operation, and you're going to love the way we save you money.
I'd say at least 20%. And we can already tell with the heating, no cold drafts, perfect windows.
Call now to be one of 20 homeowners to get special savings on new windows, 75% off labor. Zip code and location are important. More than 20 will call in, so don't you miss out. Call right now. 60 months, zero interest financing. We're going to compensate you for your time. A $100 Walmart gift card with purchase. Ask about virtual online estimates. And if you call today, get a $50 Amazon gift card with that free estimate. Call 608-338-1616. That's 608-338-1616. MadCityWindows.com.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Well, right now we're in a very mild, a very clear, and a very pleasant pattern for the rest of the work week and the weekend. Overnight, our skies stay mostly clear, and we're going to see our temperatures drop overnight, but only falling down to the mid-40s to start off Wednesday. So pretty mild for early in the day. Overnight lows should be closer to about 30 degrees for our morning time. Now, in the afternoon on Wednesday, we still have sunshine with high temperatures back to the 60s. A few clouds building in Wednesday night into Thursday, but those will start to clear out by Thursday afternoon. We're back to mostly sunny skies. So again, a really nice pattern for us, and those temperatures in the 60s again for Thursday. We have to look ahead all the way to Sunday night into Monday for our next chance for rain. A slight chance Sunday night, and then during the day on Monday, we'll have scattered showers and the possibility for a few isolated thunderstorms. That continues into Tuesday before this rain starts to wrap up late Tuesday night and into Wednesday. Areas north of us likely seeing a little snow mixing in. We could see a few snowflakes mixing in early in the day on Wednesday, but overall it is going to be rain coming down. Our temperature trend certainly stays above average through the middle of the month. The cooler air off to the west, but much of the eastern half of the country is seeing temps not just a little bit above average, but well above average. That's going to continue through this week, the weekend, and even next week we'll see a few days above average. Our precip trend, though, with that rain chance that is expected to develop for the start of the week, that will likely push us above average for the middle of November. Usually we're pretty dry this time of year, so having that significant chance for rain for Monday, Tuesday, and into early Wednesday, that could add up just a little bit. Mostly sunny tomorrow with highs in the mid-60s again, so another really pleasant, mild day. Just doesn't feel like November outside if you were hoping for some cooler weather. We're in the mid-60s for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So yes, a very steady pattern and trend for us. Sunshine expected into Saturday with those overnight lows likely dropping just close to 50, so not a big drop for us overnight into the weekend. Those shower chances develop late Sunday night into Monday. Monday, we have scattered showers, isolated thunderstorms. The cooler weather starts to return for the middle of next week. We'll see our overnight lows fall back closer to freezing and those afternoon highs in the 40s, but we won't be dropping off too much. Overnight lows will still stay fairly close to average. But those rain chances building in, that'll be coming after quite a little dry stretch with the sunshine this week.
That's going to be a slap in the face next week.
It's going to be a change in a different direction. Yes, absolutely.
All right, Dana, thank you. Well, there is a lot of attention on the presidential race tonight, of course, but you can't underestimate the importance of the state legislature races. The decisions made at the state capitol could affect you even more than those in Washington.
Our Amanda Quintana is downtown with what you should be watching for tonight. Amanda?
Yeah, well, there are about a dozen races to really pay attention to tonight. There are about half of them in the state Senate and the other half in the Assembly. The reason to pay attention to these races is because Democrats could flip those seats. And that's something we haven't seen. In the last 10 years, we've only seen it once. So now, why is this important? Why do we need to care about what's at stake in the state legislature? Well, the biggest answer to that question is redistricting. So whoever is elected tonight is going to be part of that next process of redistricting. Now, political science experts say that gerrymandering with the last redistricting really affected the way that the legislature looks right now. And it's not an accurate representation of Wisconsin voters.
Since the redistricting was done in 2011, we've had this constant pattern where virtually 2/3 of the seats are held by Republicans, even though on a statewide basis, the Democrats get either about half or, like in 2018, more than half of the votes.
Now, most of these big races to watch where Democrats could flip the seats, those are in the Milwaukee suburbs. Most of them. There is one important one that we should be looking at around here, and that's the race between Republican Todd Novak and Democrat Chris Marion. Now, we'll be paying close attention to that race as Chris Marion has almost raised double of what Novak has raised, so we'll keep you updated throughout the night, paying close attention to that race.
Amanda Quintana reporting live from downtown Madison. Thank you, Amanda. There's more to come at 4. Dr. Jeff Potoff will join us with an update on COVID-19 in Wisconsin.
And then tonight at 5, our Election Day coverage continues. We'll update you on lines and issues happening at the polls.
Thank you for calling Mad City Windows. We started out looking for 50 homes. Thank you for responding. Then 30, now down to 20. Participate now in our home evaluation program, and you're going to save a lot of money. We want to take those old windows out and install the new Eco Sky windows to give your home an energy upgrade. We're talking about a 0.17 U factor, one of the lowest in the industry, if not the lowest. Beautiful windows that keep the cold out in the wintertime. Last chance to call in during this program to be one of 20 homeowners to get 75% off labor on new windows from Mad City Windows. 60 months, 0 interest. We're going to compensate you for your time. Zip code and location are important. $100 Walmart gift card with purchase. Ask about virtual online estimates, and you get a $50 Amazon gift card with your free in-home estimate from Mad City Windows. Call 608-338-1616. That's 608-338-1616. MadCityWindows.com.
Managing type 2 diabetes? You're on it. You may think you're doing all you can to manage type 2 diabetes and heart disease.
But could your medication do more to lower your heart risk? Jardiance can reduce the risk of cardiovascular death for adults who also have known heart disease, so it could help save your life from a heart attack or stroke. And it lowers A1C.
Jardiance can cause serious side effects, including dehydration, genital yeast or urinary tract infections, and sudden kidney problems. Ketoacidosis is a serious side effect that may be fatal. A rare but life-threatening bacterial infection in the skin of the perineum could occur. Stop taking Jardiance and call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of this bacterial infection, ketoacidosis, or an allergic reaction. And don't take it if you're on dialysis or have severe kidney problems. Taking Jardiance with a sulfonylurea or insulin may cause low blood sugar,
Lower A1C and lower risk of a fatal heart attack?
On it with Jardiance.
We're committed to making Jardiance available and affordable. With our savings card, eligible patients pay as little as $0.
Tonight at 5, we have live team coverage of the election. We'll talk about what counties we're watching closely and why those counties matter. That's at 5.
After a picture-perfect election day, our weather will stay sunny, mild, and dry through the weekend. Some rain and colder weather returns next week. My first warn forecast at 5.
And ahead at 6, we are live with the latest voter turnout numbers and what you need to know before you go to your polling site. That's tonight on News 3 Now at 6.
Here's a live look at downtown Madison as the sun starts setting.
What a day it was today.
And what a week it's going to be.
Yes.
Well, teenagers are buying less clothing and more video games.
The pandemic is changing the way Gen Z, that age group, spends money, and it's causing a lot of teens to tighten the purse strings like they've never done before. Elise Preston has more.
Alexis Burkhalter is a high school junior in Columbus, Ohio. Her passion is competitive tennis. And until the pandemic, she enjoyed trips to the mall.
I think it was really just a good way to hang out with your friends, get stuff you need.
Teenage shoppers are an important slice of the nation's economy. Piper Sandler, senior research analyst Aaron Murphy tracks their spending.
This year in particular, spending was at the lowest we've seen in the 2 decades that we've conducted this survey.
The survey says teens spent about $2,100 this year, a 9% drop from last year, a trend that's at least partly a result of the pandemic.
There's clearly things in the wallet that you can't spend on that maybe you used to, whether it's, going out to eat with your friends or whether it's going to concerts.
Spending on cosmetics dropped 20% and apparel was down 11%. With Nike as the #1 brand. One area that bucked the trend, video games.
Video games moved from 8% of the total wallet to 10% of the wallet.
Another change is in the way teenagers shop. The pandemic drove them out of stores and online. 90% now say they spend money on e-commerce. Alexis says she never shopped online before this year. Now she spends about $120 a month over the internet, money she earns doing chores.
I want to be sad for myself that I can't see my friends as much and hang out with my friends, but I just know people are in a worse situation than I am.
In fact, nearly half of all teens believe the economy is getting worse, which could mean more belt tightening in the future. Elise Preston, CBS News, New York.
The survey included teenagers between the ages of 13 and 19 from households with an average yearly income of about $67,000.
Well, still to come at 4, don't let COVID-19 keep you from voting this evening.
UW Health's Dr. Jeff Potoff will tell us how to vote safely, and we'll talk about other coronavirus headlines as well when Live at 4 continues.
Don't wait until the weekend to enjoy a thick charbroil steak made to your liking. Make a weeknight steak night at High Point Steakhouse, Southern Wisconsin's premier supper club. Well worth the short drive to Ridgeway.
Wild thing.
You know what I think? I think you owe us $48.50. Wild thing.
If you ride, you get it. GEICO Motorcycle. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
I'm
a mom, a grandma, and a business owner. Our family repaired 3 barns and a 100-year-old farmhouse for our small business. I was raised to believe in hard work and that a person's word is sacred. As your assemblywoman, I'll work hard for our small towns and family farms, to rebuild our schools and main streets, and be your fiscal watchdog to make sure our tax dollars come back to work for us here at home.
Hello. Oh. I wish to inquire about your free phone deal. Is there anything hidden I should be aware of?
No, sir.
No hidden plan requirements?
You choose your plan.
No hidden phone trade-ins?
Keep your phone.
No hidden activation fees or other trickery where video recorded evidence would be beneficial?
None.
Interesting.
Lovely scarf.
What camera?
Get the latest phones free with no hidden requirements. U.S. Cellular. Upgrade to Fair.
My psoriatic arthritis pain, I had enough. It's not getting in my way.
Joint pain, swelling, tenderness, much better.
My psoriasis, clearer. Cosentix works on all of this.
4 years and counting.
So watch out.
I got this.
Watch me.
Real people with active psoriatic arthritis look and feel better with Cosentix. Cosentix works fast for results that can last. It treats the multiple symptoms of psoriatic arthritis, like joint pain and tenderness, back pain, and helps stop further joint damage. Don't use if you're allergic to Cosentix. Before starting, get checked for tuberculosis. An increased risk of infections and lowered ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor about an infection or symptoms. If your inflammatory bowel disease symptoms develop or worsen, or if you've had a vaccine or plan to. Serious allergic reactions may occur.
I just look and feel better.
I got real relief with Cosentix.
Watch me.
Feel real relief. Ask your rheumatologist about Cosentix.
Don't wait until the weekend to enjoy a thick charbroiled steak made to your liking. Make a weeknight steak night at High Point Steakhouse, Southern Wisconsin's premier supper club. Well worth the short drive to Ridgeway.
Right now, traffic looks good for us. Most of the major arteries looking green. That's always a good thing. A few slowdown spots along the Beltline, but no accidents to report right now. In fact, the interstate actually looks smooth from Dane County all the way through Rock County right now. In downtown Janesville, no major delays, just a few of the stop-and-go spots. From Janesville to the Beltline, about 26 minutes, 17 minutes to get from Sauk City to Middleton, and Sun Prairie to downtown, about 9 minutes this evening. That's a quick look at traffic.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm fine. I need your driver's license.
Okay, sure, no problem.
Oh, it's a paper.
Marie has no idea her son just handed her his driver's license. Clay Sullivan has been in prison for the last 20 years and didn't tell his mom that he was getting out soon. He wanted to surprise her, and with the help of a wig, jacket, and mask, she doesn't have a clue until he says, thanks, Mom.
Aww.
That's a hug they haven't shared since he was 18. He's now 38. Marie's co-workers were in on the surprise as well.
Oh, that's wonderful.
It is wonderful. While the election takes center stage today, it's important to remember we're still in the middle of a global pandemic.
Many people showing up to the polls today have some concerns about COVID-19 while standing in line. So joining us today to talk about that and other coronavirus topics is Dr. Jeff Potoff, the Chief Quality Officer at UW Health. Dr. Potoff, good to see you.
Good to see you again.
Yeah, good to be on the show again.
It seems like the majority of people voted early, but for those who have to go to the polls today, I did it myself this morning. Is it safe to do that, given where Wisconsin is with the pandemic?
You know, we know a lot more about the virus right now than we did this spring. And, you know, going to the polls in person does create a bit of risk for you, but for the most part, it can be mitigated, probably down to the level of going to a grocery store or going to Home Depot.
So masks are not required in the polling places, but it's still probably a good idea to wear one.
Yeah, from the public health perspective, we absolutely want to see everyone with a mask at a polling location. We know that masks are effective. That data is really sound. We also want to see physical distancing. You know, a lot of the polling places, they know that. They've set that up for you. The one place to keep an eye on it is really when you're in line waiting to vote outside. Just be mindful what 6 feet is. Try not to crowd that. Those are the two big recommendations. And then, you know, bring some hand sanitizer. There's a lot of shared items in a polling place. every time you touch something that's shared, just go ahead and give yourself a little squirt of hand sanitizer. Get any possible virus off your hands.
And shout out to the poll workers. They really have been on top of it. They've worked very hard to keep everyone safe. But cases in Wisconsin continue to spike. We reached nearly 6,000 today. Why is that still happening in our state?
Yeah, you know, it's such a problem for us right now. We're really having a hard time as a state getting control of this. And, you know, I think there's a couple factors, but two of the big ones. One, we're just getting tired of mitigation efforts. You know, we've been doing this for a long time. I think a lot of people are saying, you know what, I'm just kind of fed up with social distancing. I'm kind of fed up with the mask thing. And they start looking for information that helps them determine what risk they're taking on if they start to ignore people like myself or other public health experts who say, you know what, wear a mask and socially distance. And unfortunately, we have a lot of misinformation out there. You can find one person saying, you know what, this virus is really dangerous. We're in a really bad time right now. We really got to buckle down. But you'll find someone else who's a leader who will say, you know what, this isn't much different than the flu. I don't think it's very dangerous. And I think people are making a risk calculation that actually is incorrect. And they take on risk that they don't realize they're taking on. And, you know, with decreased compliance with masking and distancing, we're just sure to see increased cases, increased hospitalization, increased deaths. So I think that's part of the problem that's going on right now.
And Wisconsin is not unique in that fact, is it?
I think, you know, maybe not unique, but I do think that Wisconsin has had maybe more mixed messaging and kind of a less, you know, statewide approach, you know, large region approach, which allows people or lends people to trying to make the decision on their own. And that is proven to be a pretty difficult thing to do and not an effective way to fight a pandemic.
What is the hospitalization situation at UW Hospital?
Yeah, we've definitely dusted off our progressive plan that we made in the spring that helps us identify, you know, what spaces can we make appropriate for COVID patients? How do we staff them? Do we have the right supplies? We've begun turning down some of our non-emergent, non-urgent procedures because we have to make room for all the COVID volume that we're seeing right now. So, you know, not a great situation. We're stretched really thin, not only at UW Health, but also at Meriter and SSM, I feel, is also stretched thin. So, you know, we have contingency plans, but it'd be better if we didn't have to use these things.
Yeah, it's not getting better on its own, that's for sure. We have to take a hold of this and get out and vote tonight. Maybe unpoliticize this virus a little bit after the election. Doctor, thanks for being with us today.
You betcha.
Great to see you, Dr. Potoff. Thank you for your time.
A final check of your forecast coming up.
About $100 off a complete pair, frame and lenses.
Wisconsin Vision. See more life.
Have some home projects on your list? Whether it's a fix now or fix up down the road, count on Home Advisor's trusted local pros to get the job done right. It's easy to schedule, check prices, and pay for all your home projects. So get the Home Advisor app and we'll do everything to fix your everything.
Hi, Andrew Larson here with Larson Home Services. The year is drawing to a close, but there's still time to avoid that nasty, dangerous autumn chore, cleaning out your gutters. A new Leaf Guard gutter system will be the last gutters you'll ever need. They're guaranteed to never clog, or my team will come and clean them for free. You'll love how they look and how they perform.
They're the best. I don't have to worry about the gutters getting clogged up with the seeds, the branches, the dirt, the roof sheddings, and it's just one less worry for me.
That's great to hear, and right now your Leaf Guard gutter system comes with the best offer of the year: free installation labor, plus no interest for 12 months, and call now and get a $100 Visa gift card with your new Leaf Guard gutter system. Don't wait. Take advantage of our best offer of the year. Call now for your free estimate.
Wednesday morning, it's the day after the election, and the question is, what comes next?
We'll have political analysts breaking down what we know and what we don't, and hear from the head of Madison Schools on what's next after their referendum was on the ballot.
UW Athletics and the Goodman Community Center needs your help providing Thanksgiving meals for 4,000 families.
Please consider a food or monetary donation. We are grateful for any gift you can provide.
Donate at goodmancenter.org.
Here's a live look at downtown right now with our Edgewater Sky Cam. Overall, a clear sky, but sunset was just a few minutes ago, so we'll start to see our temperatures drop here soon. We're in the mid-60s still, though. A very comfortable evening. If you still have to get in line to vote and that line heads outside, you might need a jacket now that the sun is starting to go down. We'll be in the 60s for a little longer, but we'll be in the 50s here fairly soon. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and mild again, 64 the high with our breeze coming in from the southwest. And this mild sunny trend sticks with us. We'll stay sunny through the weekend. Temperatures in the 60s through next Monday, and our next rain chance doesn't start to knock on the door until late Sunday night.
What a stretch. All right, thank you, Dana. Tomorrow on Live at 4, we'll have reaction and analysis to the presidential election.
And here's a right turn alert. Consumer Report says cleaning with vinegar might harm some surfaces in your home.
Set the DVR.
We're going to have it all tomorrow on Live at 4.
If your dry eye symptoms keep coming back, inflammation in your eye might be to blame.
Looks like a great day for achy, burning eyes.
Over-the-counter eye drops typically work by lubricating your eyes and may provide temporary relief.
Ha! These drops probably won't touch me.
Xiidra works differently, targeting inflammation that can cause dry eye disease.
What is that? Xiidra? No!
It can provide lasting relief.
Oh.
Xiidra is the only FDA-approved treatment specifically for the signs and symptoms of dry eye disease. 1 drop in each eye, twice a day. Don't use if you're allergic to Xiidra. Common side effects include eye irritation, discomfort, or blurred vision when applied to the eye, and unusual taste sensation. Don't touch container tip to your eye or any surface. After using Xiidra, wait 15 minutes before reinserting contacts.
Got any room in your eye?
Talk to an eye doctor about twice daily Xiidra.
I'd prefer you didn't.
Xiidra. Not today, dry eye.
Todd Novak's doing a great job. Just ask his opponent, Chris Marion. She sent Novak the nicest notes, like this email.
Todd, I have nothing but admiration for the job you're doing.
And when Marion was running for state senate, she even reached out to Todd saying,
I aspire to be the Todd Novak of the Senate.
Quite the endorsement, so take it from Chris Marion herself.
I have nothing but admiration. I aspire to be the Todd Novak of the Senate.
Todd Novak, an independent voice, our hardworking state representative.
Why Cedar? Because when I get home, we like to play crocodile on the floor. Promis Max's pad removes over 99% of bacteria with just water. Better cleaning with less waste. Cedar, it feels great to feel at home.
I got your back, you got mine. Think about you all the time. Together we can come through. That's what love's made of. Give thanks, no matter how you share it.
Isn't it time you had a health insurance company that shares the same values as you? One that acts like a trusted health partner that not only offers easy access to the doctors, hospitals, and clinics of UW Health, but also sees the greater good in keeping us healthy in the first place. A company that understands that serving our community means serving all of our communities. Isn't it time you had Quartz? Quartz, health plans built with you in mind.
In today's Final Touch, you are looking at what's claimed to be the UK's first ever robot-built house.
It's an automated bricklaying machine doing the work. The machine is called an automatic bricklaying robot, nicknamed Bob. It's busily laying bricks and mortar. Running at full speed, the company that owns Bob says the machine could construct a home in just 2 weeks, half the time of the traditional bricklayers, but the robot will not replace humans. The system requires workers to